So, ladies and gentlemen, when Bob Iger was announced as taking over for Bob Chapek, I said, look, they are two cheeks of the same arse. Everything that has been established is going to continue. Why did I say that? Well, because Bob Chapek was continuing work that Bob Iger had set up, and now Bob Iger's back. He's obviously going to continue it. Like, why would he change it? And this is confirmation of that. So they did a town hall, a company town hall where he stood around and pontificated nonsense towards everyone and revealed the downward trend of Disney is going to continue. And it's really important to note, they've just had, not Disney, but they're part of it, box office has just had the worst Thanksgiving weekend since like 1994. And two of those movies were Disney ones. Terrible. Really, really bad. It's nothing to be... That's a damn near record breaker, right? We mainstream media is so quick to point out all of the positives, the positive record breakings. Where's the quick, slice and dice on the negative? It's horrendous. So it does lose them money. But his wording is what you'd expect for this shit. It's just going to continue, ladies and gents. So we'll dive into this today. Ladies and gents, please do give the video a like and please do share it. YouTube's changed something. We're about 25% less impressions. YouTube isn't putting the videos in front of people. I know that's from my analytics. And you know what? You probably haven't had a video for a while. So if you do get this, please do share it. And if you're new here, please do hit subscribe and turn the bell notifications on, and check that you've got them turned on if you had them on before. So let's have a look. Bob Iger officially returned to his post as CEO on Monday with a shock thing which happened over the weekend, and he sealed it obviously with a tweet addressing a rapt audience of employees at a company-wide meeting. Filled with gratitude and excitement to be back, Iger wrote on his personal Twitter account, and then attached a photo of the Studio Lot's Disney Legends Plaza, a building on which the 7 dwarfs from Snow White serves as pillars. So obviously it's been just over a week now since Disney's board of directors shocked Hollywood, chucked Chapek to the curb and put Iger in place. And Iger did his first town hall before an in-person and virtual employees saw him touch on several hot topics. So a planned hiring freeze implemented by Chapek following Disney's recent lackluster quarterly earnings report, the profitability of Disney's streaming portfolio, and the corporate giant stance on LGBTQ+ inclusion. So, what was said? So, this is nonsense anyway, by the way. This is Variety. And they're like, LGBT inclusion was the Achilles heel for Chapek in his roughly 2-year run as CEO. No, it wasn't. It was having to deal with the nonsense that Iger had established. After floating the message that Disney should not be involved in politics, employees and content creators led a full-on social media rebellion decrying his silence on issues like Florida's incendiary policies on trans children and classroom policies in acknowledging queer people. It was in acknowledging sex in general, and no, children shouldn't be learning that. The bill itself is actually pretty logical, and I've yet to hear an actual justified refute of that bill. None of it. It's all just emotions. When asked Monday during an employee Q&A about where the studio would now fall on the matter, bearing in mind they've just lost $150 million on Strange World, Iger said, and most people were not happy with that film because, it's pushing things which they don't want their kids to learn, right? They don't want their kids to know about LGBTQ+, and that's something which a parent has the full justification not to teach their children. Iger said, one of the core values of our storytelling is inclusion and acceptance and tolerance. And we can't lose that. We just can't lose that. How we actually change the world through the good must continue. We're not going to make everyone happy all the time, and we're not going to try. We're certainly not going to lessen our core values in order to make everyone happy all the time. This is such nonsense, and it's such nonsense because it's literally just, well, one, a lot of it is just virtue signaling. This specifically, though, isn't, because, they will still be doing this, and that's not a virtue signal. But a lot of it is just plain virtue signaling anyway, because they'll happily set up shop in the Xinjiang province of China, where they're performing a bloody genocide on Uyghur Muslims. It's just, the rank hypocrisy here is just outrageous. So no, the remarks were tweeted by numerous employees at the content studios as well as parks and stores. One staffer noted that Iger's answer came with no hesitation. Good. I'm sure all 20 people are going to be happy. 2 sources familiar with the meeting confirmed his comments. Good. Iger said he would uphold Chapek's hiring freeze for the time being. That's because they're absolutely diving now. And he also said Disney's streaming business, which includes Disney Plus and Hulu, should look toward profitability instead of chasing subscriber growth, according to employees at the meetings. Basically, we can't pay any more money now. We can't. We just can't. There's no more money. There's no more money. We can't give any more money. Which makes sense. Because how do you make it profitable if you know your subscribers aren't going to be growing? Then it's all to do with cash. Now they mention here about Apple buying Disney, saying that that's just rumor, or he said that was just rumor. They said something like there's no plan in place. So it wasn't exactly a complete straight up. It just said, you know, pure speculation at this point in time. And he also cautioned employees not to expect any new purchases. So basically, Iger, Disney, they're not going to be buying anything. They can't afford to, which makes sense. Massively makes sense. But yeah, I mean, it was... yeah. It was an interesting statement. Very, very interesting. And this whole nonsense of how we actually change the world through the good. You're not changing the world through good. Again, you directly supported... well, China and what they're doing, and it's just horrendous. At one point I said, we do what we believe is right, and someone criticised me to say, well, who are you to say what is right? And this is all to do with his LGBTQ plus inclusion stance. Well, when you're in a job like mine, where you're responsible for the storytelling that many of you are, responsible for you to get paid, to have a sense of what is right, not everyone would agree with you. That's just not the way the world is these days, but it doesn't mean you should stop trying to do the right thing. Basically, I'm right, you're wrong, shut up. Consume. So there you go. It's just going to continue, as I said it would. 2 cheeks of the same bumhole. So they both stink, basically. This is what I'm trying to say. Let me know your thoughts and share the video.